Hi, and welcome to my humble little YouTube channel. My name is Nikki, and I am a reader, writer, and overall lover of books. So, a little bit about me. I am 29 years old. As I mentioned, I am a writer. I currently do have a full-time job, so writing right now is more of a hobby, just something that I'm able to do kind of around my work schedule. I do eventually want it to become something that's a little more something that I'm able to focus on a little more consistently, maybe eventually transition to it being a full-time thing. But for now, it's just a way that I recharge and reset and kind of something that I enjoy on the side. I currently have a couple of projects that I'm working on, and I do eventually want to get published, whether that's going to be traditional versus self-published. Obviously, I don't really have control over traditional, whether or not I'm traditionally published, but it is something that I'm not really sure yet if I'm going to pursue that path. So I'm kind of on the fence about that, but I do eventually want to become a published author. And I am a true beginner. I've never published anything. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on currently, but I've never shared my writing with anyone really. So I am very much in the early stages on that journey to publication. I am a multi-genre reader, which means that I'm also a multi-genre writer. Currently, I have a thriller/horror manuscript that I'm working on. But when I need to take a break from that, I switch over to the romance manuscript that I'm working on. So kind of two extreme sides of the spectrum. But I also really enjoy reading in both of those genres. So it's just kind of what I feel is right for me. I'm creating this channel to document my journey to publication. As I mentioned, I'm really in the early stages. I have a rough manuscript finished, but I don't have a polished manuscript finished, and I'm trying to get there. It would be amazing if I could be traditionally published, but I'm also not opposed to self-publishing, and I think it's really interesting. It would be interesting to kind of explore that process and what that looks like. So whatever happens, and I'll be grateful with either. So in this journey to publication, I want to use this channel to kind of document my experience, what I've learned on either of the traditional publishing or the self-publishing paths, and also to share tips and tricks that I learn along the way. When I was gaining the courage to start writing my manuscript, one of the places that I looked was YouTube. I really was inspired by a lot of the other authors out there that are documenting their process in drafting their novels. And so I kind of want to just pay it forward. If there's anyone out there that's maybe more of a beginner than I am, I think it would be great if I could share some of my knowledge. That way we can go along on the journey together. Another reason why I want to start this channel is because writing can be very isolating, especially if you're not yet a part of a writing community or if you don't have any other writer friends that you could bounce ideas off of. So a part of my goal with this channel is to meet other authors, meet other writers, meet other readers, and really just kind of find my place in the author/book community, and maybe meet some friends along the way. I am currently working on polishing my thriller manuscript. And I've I've been working on this one for a while. So I churned out the first draft of this novel in 2023, and I have been I set it aside for, I had planned 3 to 6 months. It turned out to be longer. So it took me a while to kind of get back in the headspace for this project. Also, it was my first attempt at writing a novel, and it definitely shows. I've completed Act 1 to the best of my ability thus far. I've rewritten it, I think, 3 times. Putting Act 1 behind me and trying to focus on Acts 2 and 3. The problem is I have a completely different vision for the story than I had when I was initially writing the first draft. So what that means is that I have some major rewrites that I need to do for Acts 2 and 3, and I'm incredibly intimidated to tackle those, which is one of the reasons why I think I focused on Act 1 so much. But we're getting there. I'm planning on picking that up within the coming weeks, hopefully making some good progress in Acts 2. I'll probably document some of that on this channel, but I am both extremely intimidated, also extremely excited for what's to come. In total, I currently have a little over 53,000 words written for my thriller manuscript. My goal is 80,000, so I definitely have a lot of work ahead of me, a long ways to go. But I feel like Act 1 has given me a solid foundation, and I'm happy with where that is now. That hopefully Acts 2 and Acts 3 won't be as intimidating as I'm thinking, but there's definitely some work to be done there. My overall goal is that by 2026, I'm sending this manuscript out to beta readers. Side note, if you are a beta reader, because I don't even know how to go about finding beta readers at this point, if you're interested, leave me a comment. I'd be happy to connect with you. So while I am editing that current manuscript, I also have a romance novel that I'm working on. It's kind of my way of taking a break from the thriller story that I have. You're spending a lot of time in that psychological thriller on the borderline of horror space. Things can get heavy. I kind of bounce between like this dark, kind of violent, hopefully scary thriller story to this light and wholesome, warm, cozy romance read. So those are the 2 projects that I'm working on right now. I write kind of how I read, meaning I have a tendency to get super excited about a book that I'm reading, read it, and then see another book, and then start that other book, and then simultaneously I'm reading multiple books that I'm really excited to read all at once. I kind of do that with writing as well. So I have a notebook of just general ideas that I have for future stories, but I'm really trying to rein myself in to only focus on these 2 projects right now. I think I kind of fell into that trap with with my first manuscript. I wrote it, I set it aside, focused on a handful of other projects, and then never really got around to finishing the first completed manuscript that I had. So really trying to focus on just these 2 projects right now, so that I can actually finish them. My biggest struggles right now as a beginner, I mean, there are several. There are several struggles as I'm trying to figure out not only how to write and complete a novel, but also what the publishing world even looks like. if I had to pinpoint two, I would say the first struggle that I have is at this stage is finding my writing style. I've read a lot of different thriller novels, a lot of different horror novels, and it's hard not to compare yourself to the published product, right? So it's hard not to compare what you're working on to something that's gone through several rounds of edits and rewrites to get to the bookshelf, right? To get on the shelves. I would say that's something that I struggle with a lot currently. I'll write something and then I'll say, well, what I've written isn't necessarily what I see getting published or what I've read through other completed works. Basically, I just need to figure out what is my personal style, my personal writing style, and stop trying to emulate other authors and other styles. Another struggle that I have kind of goes into that first struggle, but it's just imposter syndrome. Who am I to write a book, right? Who am I to get published and have others read my work? Just getting over that self-doubt mindset is really tough, especially since I don't really have any process for feedback. I really am just kind of going about it solo. I don't have really anyone to bounce ideas off of yet. At least not anyone that's, in my genre, right? So it's really hard not to compare your day one to somebody else's like day 300. And so I just am needing to work a little bit on that mindset shift and just kind of stick with it to ultimately accomplish my dream. My favorite authors in the genres that I write, also read. So Gillian Flynn is probably my number one. I read Gone Girl fresh out of high school, and it kind of changed my life. It was the first, I would say probably the first book in the quote unquote good for her genre that I had ever read. And of course, I just had to go back and read all of Gillian Flynn's books. Another author or a couple of authors who have been reading recently in this genre are Geneva Rose. So she wrote The Perfect Marriage, and she's also the author of You Shouldn't Have Come Here. So, and another one that I'm currently reading, One of Us is Dead, is I believe the title. If that's not, then I'll just add it. But I've really enjoyed her writing style, and she's, I think, a good example of someone who always has a twist in her books. So I've really been enjoying reading through her catalog. I also have read a couple of John Marr's books that I like. One that immediately comes to mind is Keep It in the Family. And he's another author that really, in my opinion, is great at writing twist endings. As for the romance genre, Lila Sage is one of my favorites. As you could probably tell here, I have the Rebel Blue Ranch series on display. But another author who I've recently read and really enjoyed is Kaylee Smith. And so she's the author of Phantasma. I churned through that in about a week. And then I also recently picked up Enchantra. And I haven't yet started that, but I'm really looking forward to it. So with this channel, I'm looking forward to mainly just documenting my journey. I'm excited at the idea of in 5-10 years looking back on the videos that I make here and just wherever I'm at, whether I'm someone who's traditionally published, self-published, still on the road to publication. I just like the idea of being able to look back and enjoy reflecting on the different wins, losses, struggles that I experienced along the way. I am also looking forward to sharing things that I've learned along the way. So while I am a beginner, I may be further along this journey than somebody who hasn't even started their first manuscript. So I don't take that for granted. There may be things that I know that somebody else doesn't know, and I'm a huge fan of just sharing the knowledge, sharing the love, going about this incredibly difficult but rewarding journey together. Another thing that I'm looking forward to is finding my place in the author community, in the writer community, in the book community. I'm just really looking forward to speaking with other authors, speaking with other writers. If you are on a similar journey, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to just kind of chat with you and see where you are on the journey, and kind of just let you know that you are not alone. And finally, kind of a little side goal that I have in addition to going about my journey to publication is the channel is called Cozy Book Cabin, and I have this overall dream of having just like a little book space that I can go to, kind of a little mini book retreat. I'm a huge fan of those little those shed, garage, library, she shed type things. So I do hope at some point you will get to see me move all of my books, all of my writing supplies into a little book cabin space. So that's kind of another goal that I look forward to. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, listening to me ramble about things that I want to accomplish. As I mentioned, if you are a fellow reader, fellow writer, also on the journey to publication, please feel free to drop a comment. I'd be happy to connect. Thanks so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.